The ballroom was a palace of white roses, gold lamps, and a crystal chandelier like a falling star. I stood at the top of the aisle with my father. The music began. Guests stood. I saw my groom, Adrian Sterling, heir to Sterling Holdings, waiting with a proud smile. Then the lights cut out. A single spotlight hit a woman in a navy dress, Patricia Sterling, Adrian's mother. She raised a hand. The band stopped. The room held its breath. I felt the ground go soft under my heels. "Before we marry my son," Patricia said, voice cold and smooth, "we must be honest." Screens around the ballroom lit up. A slideshow began. First, a photo of me as a cafe waitress years ago. Then a picture of me near a small apartment door. Then a short video of a man hugging me on a street. "She is not who she says," Patricia said. "She chased my son for money, she hid her poor past, she has a lover." Gasps spread across the room like fire. I could not breathe. Adrian's face turned white. My father tightened his grip. The band members looked down at the floor. "This wedding is over," Patricia said. Adrian did not move. He stared at the screens, then at me. 1,000 eyes watched us. My heart hit the inside of my ribs. "That man is my cousin," I said, "and I never hid my past." No one heard me. The spotlight moved. Security entered. Patricia spoke to them in a whisper. They walked toward me. "Don't," Adrian said, but he said it too late. The guard stopped 2 steps from me and opened a side door. It felt like the door to the cold outside world. "Please," I said to Adrian. He looked at his mother. She looked back, calm as ice. I took 1 step toward the exit, then another. My father came with me. The last thing I heard was Patricia saying, "This family has standards." By dawn, photos of the ruined billionaire wedding were on every blog. Headlines called me a fraud, a gold digger, a liar. Someone posted a clip of me being guided out. It went viral. Comments burned. I turned off my phone. I hid in a friend's 1-room flat, 2 train lines from the city centre. I slept with my dress still in its bag like a ghost of a dream. I cried until my throat hurt. Then I stopped crying and wrote 1 sentence. "I will not fight for a place at her table. I will build my own." 3 days later, my cousin Lewis came by with tea and a folder. "That video of us hugging," he said. "It's from the day I learned I got the scholarship to Madrid. You were saying goodbye." He had receipts, dates, photos, proof. "Patricia knew," he said. "She hired a private agent who spoke to me, then cut me out when I asked for context." I stared at the folder. A small flame lit inside me, not rage, not yet, strategy. "Keep copies," I said, "everything. To break the queen, you must know her castle." Patricia built her power on 3 pillars: reputation, influence over Adrian, and a tight circle of rich friends who feared her. She sat on charity boards, spoke at galas, and managed the Sterling name like it was a fragile jewel. The city whispered that she was kind. She was not. She was careful. I was going to be more careful. I went to people who had been near her shine and cut by it. A former housekeeper, a driver, a florist who'd been underpaid, then blamed. I listened. I took notes. I kept my face calm. They told me about vendors paid late so she could show hard negotiation. They told me how she gave away used gowns as donations, then claimed large tax credits. They told me about a charity gala where she pledged a huge gift and never fully paid it. "Do you have proof?" I asked each one. Some did: emails, invoices, messages, enough to draw a picture, not enough to go to war yet. On the 10th day, Adrian texted, then he called. I let it ring. Finally, I answered. "Elena," he said softly, "I'm sorry I panicked." "You watched them walk me out," I said. "I didn't know what to do." "You do now," I said. "If you want me back, you will stand in the light and say your mother lied." "Silence, I can't destroy my mother," he said. "I'm not asking you to destroy her," I said. "I'm asking you to choose the truth." He did not answer. "Then I choose myself," I said, and hung up. I got a part-time job back at a cafe, not for money but for air. I needed to stand, move, and serve people who didn't know me as a headline. One evening, a woman with a pearl brooch came in. She had careful hair and a careful smile. "You are Elena," she said. "I'm Dr. Norbat. I sit on the board of Haven House, the shelter where Patricia promised to fund a new wing." "She promised," I asked. "Did she pay?" "Not enough," Dr. Nor said. "But she used our name in 3 speeches. It helped her get on another board." "Do you have numbers?" I asked. My voice was quiet. Inside, I was awake. "I will," she said, "but why do you care?" Because someone cut my life in half in a room full of light, I said. I am going to cut the lies that keep her crown on her head. Dr. Noor looked at me for a long time, then she slid a card across the counter with a red ribbon printed on it. We'll speak. Charity boards have bylaws and minutes, vendors have contracts, people hide things in plain sight. I spent days reading. I learned the shape of a promise and the weight of a pledge. I learned which words lock people in. Restricted funds, matching gifts, in kind. I found where Patricia had been clever and where she had been sloppy. I built a timeline, dates, sums, press clips, screenshots. I taped them on a wall until it looked like a map of a city I needed to conquer. I sent a short, polite email to a quiet reporter who never wrote gossip. She wrote about systems, not scandals. I gave her documents from Haven House with permission from Dr. Noor, plus invoices from 2 vendors and a note from the florist. I wrote 2 lines at the bottom. This is not about revenge, this is about truth. If you check, you will see a pattern. She replied, I will verify. I closed my laptop and went for a walk. The night air tasted like rain and metal. I felt fear and relief hold hands inside my chest. The next afternoon, Adrian stood at my friend's door with flowers and wet eyes. Let me in, he said. I stepped outside and closed the door behind me. We stood in the hallway that smelled like laundry and cooking rice. I love you, he said. You did not show it, I said. I was shocked. I was humiliated. I took a breath. I don't need you to fight your mother for me, I need you to fight for the truth. He swallowed. What are you doing? Cleaning, I said. You should do the same. He looked afraid. Are you going to hurt her? I will not touch her, I said. I will show her reflection to the world. If she hates what she sees, that is not my hand, it is her face. 2 weeks later the article dropped. The Cost of a Promise, How Society's Darlings Game Charity. It did not say Patricia's name in the headline. It did not need to. In 3 pages the article described a pattern of pledges, press and partial payments. It had numbers, dates, quotes and documents. It made no big accusations. It asked good questions. A paragraph named Patricia and showed the math. Another paragraph quoted Dr. Noor. 2 vendors spoke off the record, but their invoices spoke on it. A board member said, we trusted, we need to check. The same day a second piece ran. Viral wedding shock, what really happened? It included the photo of me hugging my cousin and a college acceptance letter with his name. It noted the private agent hired by an unnamed family member. It asked why a bride was marched out without a private talk. I did not smile, but I stood straighter. Patricia called me at midnight. You ungrateful child, she said, voice shaking. You will stop this at once. I sent documents, I said. Was any of it false? You do not understand how the world works, she hissed. You think you can shame me, I am shame-proof. Then you have nothing to fear, I said. Good night. She lowered her voice. You think Adrian will choose you when I am done? I am not trying to win him, I said. I am trying to find myself. I ended the call. My hands trembled, but not from fear, from clarity. Rich people like clean stories. They donate to names, not work. When a name looks dirty, they step back. 2 donors paused their pledges to a foundation where Patricia sat on the board. The board chair asked for a meeting to review communications. A 3rd donor asked for a refund of a gala table until questions are answered. Patricia's circle shifted in tiny ways. Texts not returned, lunches pushed, smiles thinner. The ground under her pointed heels began to move. The hotel that hosted our ruined wedding called my father and me for payment. The contract had a clause. The party that cancels the event after the start pays in full. I did not cancel, I said. The event was halted by a member of the host family, the manager said. Our council considers that a cancellation. My father looked at me, his eyes were sad but proud. We will not pay for our own humiliation, he said. I sent the contract to the reporter. I sent it to a dependable lawyer who worked for a legal clinic. He smiled. They danced you out, then they danced to court. We filed suit for damages and emotional distress. It was not about money, it was a line in ink. A former housekeeper called me. There is a recording, she said, from the wedding morning, Mrs. Sterling in the staging room. How, I asked. Security camera, she said. She had it removed later, but my nephew works in AV, he saved the clip. In the video, Patricia looked into a mirror and practiced lines. She said, standards, family, integrity. She tested the word asterisk gold digger and changed it to not our level asterisk. Then she smiled like a knife. I watched it once. Then I sent it to the reporter, to our lawyer, and to a group of board members who were still sure Patricia was a pillar. I did not post it, I did not need to, others would. Adrian came again, he looked thinner. He had dark circles under his eyes, he held a folded piece of paper. What is it? I asked. My letter, he said. To the press, to the boards, to the hotel, to our guests, I will say I failed to defend you. I will say the video was wrong. I will say my mother misled people. Will you? I asked. He nodded, even if I lose my name. You will lose a lie, I said, that is different. He sat on the step. Will you come back to me? I don't know, I said, but this letter is for you, not for me. He blinked hard, okay. The letter went live. Adrian spoke on camera, calm, direct, without a single word against me. He spoke only about truth and how fear of public shame made him weak. He said he would pay the hotel and all vendors in full. He said he would ask our guests to forgive the hurt and mess. He did not ask me to come back. He did not mention love. It was the most adult thing I had ever seen him do. Patricia posted a long note about misunderstandings and politics. It did not land. A board voted to suspend her. Another asked her to step down for now. The hotel's lawyer called ours to discuss settlement. The charity announced a new gift in full, Adrian's, not hers, and thanked friends who do the work quietly. At a gala weeks later, an MC made a joke about surprise speeches and the crowd laughed. Patricia's smile did not touch her eyes. The city hosted a health research gala. I did not plan to go, but Dr. Noor insisted. Walk in with me, she said, not to show them, to show yourself. I wore a simple black dress. When I entered the ballroom, people looked but different from before. Some came over to say they were sorry, some said they admired my grace. I kept my answers short and kind. Halfway through the night, Patricia approached. She was still beautiful, she always would be. Her face was steady, her pearls were perfect. You won, she said. No, I said, truth won. Her jaw tightened. Do you think he will choose you now? Not my question, I said. Here's mine. When you are alone, what do you have? She looked past me toward the stage, toward the camera lights. A mother has her son, she said, always. Does she? I asked. Adrian invited us, me and Patricia, to dinner in a quiet room at a hotel that had seen too much. The table was small. The waiter poured water and left. I am selling my shares in the family foundation, Adrian said. I will create my own fund, transparent, audited, boring. Patricia smiled a tired smile. Don't punish me, darling. This isn't about punishment, he said. It's about boundaries, about who I want to be. She reached for his hand. He moved his hand away. She tried to laugh. It sounded like a cough. You cannot cut me out. I am not cutting you out of my life, Adrian said. I am stepping out of yours. She looked at me. You taught him this. No, I said, you did. The next month, Sterling Holdings held a family and friends gala to honor the company's 50 years. It was the kind of night Patricia lived for. She wore emerald green. She had a speech. She had a plan. But something happened that she did not plan. The front row had one empty seat, hers. Her name card had been moved to the third row with former board members. She stood frozen as whispers rose like steam. Adrian walked on stage. He spoke about transparency and service. He thanked the employees, not the family. He did not name his mother as the heart of the company, as he used to. He introduced Dr. Noor and the director of Haven House. He announced a simple grant with clear terms. People cheered. Patricia clapped, but her face was glass. The night my cousin flew to Madrid, he called me from the airport. He sent me a photo, young face, bright, ticket in hand. I cried happy tears, the good kind. I learned from a mutual friend that Patricia called Adrian that same night. He did not pick up. She called again. He texted back, I need time. She waited with her phone in her hand until the screen dimmed. No one called. The Queen sat alone in a quiet house and heard only the air machine hum. I met Adrian in the park where we once planned our home. We sat on a bench. The city moved around us like a calm river. I don't know if I can be your wife, I said. I can be your friend today, maybe your partner later, but I cannot be your shield again. He nodded. I don't want a shield, I want a mirror. We walked in silence. He did not reach for my hand, I did not pull away. A bridge was there between us, built of other things: truth, respect, time, not love yet, not a gate, a bridge. Months later I heard the end of the story, and it was not loud. It was soft. Patricia kept her house, her pearls, her gowns. She still had money. She still had a driver, she still had mirrors. She could still sit in a front row if she bought the seat. But she lost the thing she loved most, her hold on her son. Adrian visited on holidays, not to be guided, not to be praised, but to sit for an hour and leave. He did not bring news for her to spin. He did not ask her who to be. He gave her a hug like a polite guest and closed the door behind him without looking back. People still nodded at Patricia in lobbies, but no one leaned in anymore. Her phone lit up with fewer names. When she spoke, her voice was still smooth, but it did not carry far. She still walked in heels, but they clicked in empty halls. As for me, I moved into a small place with a sunlit window. I started a tiny firm that helped charities write honest grants and keep clean books. My first 2 clients came from that long, hard season. I worked, I rested, I healed. Sometimes I saw Adrian. Sometimes we smiled. Sometimes we did not. Sometimes we talked for hours about simple things. We were 2 people who had learned the cost of lies and the price of pride. We were careful with the truth we had. I did not ruin Patricia with prison or poverty. I did not need to. Truth took the only crown she ever wanted, the power to decide who her son would be. And that is how a woman who ruined my wedding lost the one thing she loved most. Without me lifting a sword, only a mirror.